All right, let's go. Welcome, everybody. It is winter webinar series time. So good to be back with you all. I know many of you had a chance to join us in Orlando just a couple weeks ago for the Live Unreal Summit. I hope by now you have been implementing much of what we've covered and are already on your way to having your best year yet. My name is Jeff Glover. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I always am curious because I know we have a lot of first-timers on. Great to see everyone chiming in this morning, where they're coming from today. One thing I will tell you as it relates to when you're commenting, thanks, Karen, change your chat settings to everyone. It defaults to panelists, which means only I get to see it. And I want everyone to see where you're coming from. So when you're commenting today in the chat, make sure you change the chat from panelists to everyone. That way everyone can see where everyone's chiming in from. Virginia in the house, Melbourne, Delray Beach, Maryland, Tampa, Charlotte. All right, I love it. Burlington. Good to see everyone from all over the country. And we've got some Canada in the house as well, of course. We usually have a handful from other countries outside of the US and Canada, so it's always good to see a few of those chiming in as well. If you're a first timer, meaning this is your first Glover U anything, I want to know where my rookies at. Now, you might not be a rookie in business, but I want to know if you're a first timer. So go ahead and add to the chat, first timer. Let's see our first timers. It's great to see so many. Maple Grove in the house. Awesome. Kalamazoo. That's right. There really is a Kalamazoo. Awesome, Evan. Thanks for being here. Lee, first timers. Great. Stacy, Emmanuel, Michelle. Great. Awesome. Hey, I'm so excited to jump in with you. We're going to spend the next 60 minutes or so. As you know, we slated these for 75 minutes. We did that because for years we've been doing these for 55 to 60, and we find that we go over. And so instead of going over by 5 or 10 minutes, great, thanks, Corey. Instead of going over by 5 or 10 minutes, we just said, you know what, Danielle, welcome. We said, you know what, we're just going to make these 75 minutes moving forward. So I have ready to share with you 10 ways to build a massive listing inventory now. And I'm going to jump into those notes here in just a second. But before I do, I want to make sure everyone's got the workbook downloaded and printed off. It's my recommendation to you as you take notes during these sessions. It's always more likely to stick up here when you write them down. So for those that are repeat, you might be wondering, like, Jeff, why do you always send out a workbook full of blank lines? That's because I want you to actually write things out. You understand that when you're writing things out, it's more likely to stick in your mind than typing. Now, I know a lot of you type, and that's okay too. This is still more effective. So get this workbook printed so that way you have it and can follow along. There's also a couple things in the workbook that I'm going to touch on, and I want to make sure you have those. So for those that are my first timers, again, thank you. Welcome for joining us. I saw a ton of you down in the chat. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Jeff Glover. I've been listing and selling real estate now. This May will be my 21st year in the business, if you can believe that. And if I'm in your shoes, especially for my first timers, I would be wondering, all right, why should we pay attention to what this guy has to say? And that's for one reason and one reason only, because I'm on the ground with you. I'm still personally selling between 65 and 85 homes per year. In the last decade, in fact, I've averaged over 100 sales per year myself. Our team here in Michigan, last year we sold 982 transactions, and I'm very much on the ground and in the trenches with you. I think that's probably why Glover U has experienced such explosive growth over the last handful of years, because I know you have a lot of choices and there's a lot of good people out there, but there's a lot of good spirited people out there as well that mean well and hopefully are teaching you great things. There's a big difference between myself and the rest. I'm in it with you. I know what you're going through. I know what the sellers are saying. I know how tough it is to get price reductions right now, which we're going to talk about seller pricing a little bit today. I know how tough it is to convince a buyer to go out shop now, even though interest rates are a little higher, although they've come down a little bit. So that's nice. Anyways, I'm in it. I know what you're going through. And so I hope that you guys can appreciate that. And I think that's probably what you'll find is the biggest difference when you're in our coaching programs or when you come to our events. You'll see, you know what, it just seems like these guys are like 6 to 12 months ahead of everyone else, because I'm reporting from the field. I'm not reporting from a Facebook group, a paragraph that I read or a report that somebody shared with me. So thanks again for being with us. Okay. Also, if you're not familiar, Glover U is broker agnostic. We've got agents from all companies represented today. When you come to our events, you'll find agents from Remax, from Century 21, from Keller Williams, from Real, from EXP, Coldwell Banker, Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, you name it. If there's a big franchise name out there, they're there. And of course, all of my independents as well. I know we have a lot of independents that come to our stuff. If you're an independent broker or you're an agent with an independent in the chat, I want to see it. Just say, hey, I'm an indie or I'm with an indie. We love our independents. We've got a lot of independent agents that are not with franchise companies, and we love having you at our events, and we will continue to provide as much value as we can. Thank you, Jennifer. Good to see all of our indies, our agents that are with, yes, there's large independents, there's small independents. I love that. So thank you for that. Okay. First things first, I'm going to get a couple resources out of the way. For those of you who are like, Jeff, come on, you always spend like 5-10 minutes on these resources. Can we get with the program? You never know when I'm going to give a new or something away for free that we once charged for. And we're going to start with the first resource, and I want you to write this down in your workbook. Again, it's in the chat. Get this printed off. We're going to be using this throughout the morning today. Good to see you, Berkshire Hathaway, Green Bay. Hey, sorry about your Packers. I'm sorry. I'm a diehard Lions fan. And it's nice to see our team get some wins. So sorry about your luck there, Packers. Okay. So first thing I'm going to give away. Go ahead and write down the following, gloveru.com/plan. Gloveru.com, more Berkshire Hathaway in the house. Good to see you guys. And let me just make sure I'm giving you the right domain. I wrote this down. I guess I probably should have checked it. It should take you to our 2023 business plan. Yep, it does. Okay, good. Go ahead and write down gloveru.com/plan, PLANE. I'm going to give you our 2023 plan for free. This includes a PDF of the plan. It also includes a 90-minute instructional video to go along with it. There you see it right there in the chat. Now, when you click on, when you're on there, it's going to suggest get video access. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on that. It's going to take you to the GloverU shop. The plan right now is $50. I'm giving it to you for free. You're going to enter the code Winter Webinar. All right. Now, some of you are saying, Jeff, I've already got my business plan done. What do I need your business plan for? Even if you've completed your plan, I think there might be a lot of value in downloading ours, because there may be a few sections of that plan that will provide value to you that maybe you don't have in your plan currently. My business plan is updated each and every year. This PDF is updated each and every year. And the video, the 90-minute video to go along with it, is also recorded every single year. So if you go to gloveru.com/plan and enter code Winter Webinar, all one word, Winter Webinar, that will give you 100% off of that plan. The code is Winter Webinar. They'll throw that in the chat as well, I'm sure. Yep, there it is. Thank you, Teresa, for that. Okay, that's the first resource I want to share with you. The second resource I want to share with you, many of you probably already have access to this, but for those that don't, we produce a magazine. It's called Unreal Life Magazine. It's formerly known as the Glover Gazette. And it's anywhere from 90 to 100 pages of real estate sales, business, marketing, scripts, dialogues, content. We take a lot of content from our coaching programs. We take a lot of content from our events, and we smash it into this magazine that we produce. 60,000 copies of these go out to realtors across North America for free. And I'm going to give you access to this. So for those that don't subscribe, here's how you subscribe to this for free. I pay for the printing. I pay for the postage. You're going to open up your Facebook app. Just go ahead and do it now. I'll show you how to do it. You're going to open up your Facebook app. Again, for those of you that already subscribed, just bear with me for a second. I'm going to get to the stuff. Awesome. Hey, good. Thanks for tagging me. I'm seeing you guys tagging me on social media as I open up my phone here. Max, thank you. I'm at Realtor Jeff Glover. If anybody wants to have fun with any screenshots or taking selfies or anything like that, at Realtor Jeff Glover. And of course, Glover U Coaching. You can tag either one of those. All right. When you open up your Facebook app, on the right-hand corner of the screen, there is a search function, little magnifying glass. You're going to type Glover space the letter U space inner circle. All right. Glover U inner circle. You'll see a Facebook group come up. All right. It's free to join that group. That's how you're going to get your hands on the magazine, because it's going to ask if you'd like to subscribe to our publication. This is a printed publication, so don't put your email address in there. Let us know where you want us to mail it to. We'll mail it to your home. We'll mail it to your office, wherever you want us to send it. It's free and it's on me. Now, for the handful of you that are already in the inner circle, but for some reason or another, you don't get the magazine, because there's always somebody that messages us, emails us afterwards. There's another way that you can get it. If you're already in the inner circle and you don't receive this, you go to gloveru.com/mag, gloveru.com/MAG. This is the winter 2023 edition. I already know they're working on the spring and summer one. gloveru.com/mag. If you're in the Facebook group and you don't receive this, that's how you get it. And if you're not in the Facebook group, go join that, and that's how you'll get your hands on that. That's free resource, really number 2 and 3, because the Glover U Inner Circle is free as well. And there's the way to get the magazine. Yes, we mail to Canada as well. All right. The final resource before we get to the content today. The final resource is our morning message, the morning text that goes out every day, Monday through Friday. I write a message specifically relating to succeeding in real estate. Today, I started a series that I'm going to cover over the next few days about what you need to do when you go to conferences, how to get the most out of conferences. I'm going to actually start to share some of the content. Yes, if you receive the morning message, let me know. Show me in the chat if you're receiving the daily messages. And also, from time to time, we have people that don't receive the daily message, but after you've signed up, message us and let us know that you stopped receiving it for one reason or another, and we will get you signed up. If you did sign up for it, just go to info@gloveru.com and say, hey, I signed up, I'm not getting any messages, and they'll get you squared away. Or just try this again. Here we go. Here's how you get your hands on the daily text. Monday through Friday. It's no spam. It's all real estate sales and business content. Go ahead and take out your cell phones again. Again, if you signed up and you're not receiving them for some reason, let's try this again. Take out your cell phones, go to your text messages, and just as if you were texting a new friend, all right, my friend Aaron Hoover's at the top. Aaron, if you're on, hello. And the phone number is 55444. 55444 is the phone number. And in the body of the message, you're just going to type morning, 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 like so. All right. So you're messaging the word morning to 55444. You hit send, boom. And within a minute or two, it's going to come back and ask you your first name and your last name. Once you have that all set up, you'll receive those every day, Monday through Friday. That's the daily text message. You're texting the word morning to 55444. Okay. Those are the free resources that I wanted to share with you today. I got you the business plan. All right. Good to see Ann Arbor. Yes, I love it. All right. Wichita, Kansas in the house. I got you the business plan. I got you the Unreal Life magazine subscription, and I just got you the daily text, all for free. Enjoy, take advantage. I believe those are the best resources for us to make it through the next market. Maryland in the house. Hey, Kim. Okay. So let's jump in. 10 ways to build a massive inventory now. Write these down. You've got your workbook printed off. Let's roll. Point number 1 on 10 ways to build a massive inventory now. And by the way, if you're wondering, Jeff, where did you come up with this, this content? Like, where does this come from? Well, I don't just sit and write all day. Please understand, because I'm on the ground with you, because I'm in it, I've got a listing appointment tonight in a town called Milford, Michigan. Because I'm in it with you, I know what sellers are saying. I know what's working and I know what's not. And so what I did was I took a look at our last 6 months of listing inventory, meaning like where our listings have come from over the last 6 months. I looked at the sources. I looked at what we're doing to get business from those sources. And I'm going to share with you now what we're doing to get, by the way, last month, we still took 66 listings in December of 2022. When everyone said listings were down, we took 66. So there's got to be something we're doing differently. Well, I'm about to share it with you. So I put together the list of 10 ways to build a massive inventory now. Some of them are mindset related and some of them are tactical. The first one is going to sound very basic, but it's absolutely important because quite honestly, if we don't figure out the first one, 2 through 10 don't matter. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in. Number 1, to build a massive listing inventory in this new market, number 1 is you have to develop your seller specific sales skills. You have to develop your seller-specific sales skills. Here's something I've noticed about the industry. When you're working with buyers, you can get by on buyers and have great success with buyers by being enthusiastic and excited about the process. Being the one that they love going out and seeing homes with, being the agent that is absolutely going to make them feel special when you're out showing homes. That is an absolute skill in succeeding with buyers. But there's a big difference. Do you know there's a reason why for years and years they've designated, well, are you a buyer's agent or are you a listing agent? I know many of you work both. I've always endorsed working with both. Heck, I work with both. But here's the difference between a buyer's agent and a listing agent. Here's what I mean by developing your seller-specific sales skills. Being a great buyer's agent includes being excited, getting emotional with them, being enthusiastic, smiling a lot, making the process fun. The seller side, the seller skills is all about asking great questions. Do you see the difference? We can go out and show homes and open doors and be excited, and they can be excited to look at homes with us. On the sell side is a very logical experience. And so therefore, we have to get great at asking great questions in a methodical order. So I want you to write down, actually, let me share something with you before I have you write this down. We have to understand that consumers make a decision on who they're going to hire largely on how you make them feel. Well, how do you make someone feel a certain way? Based on what you say. Therefore, becoming a master listing agent requires practicing what it is that comes out of your mouth over the phones, through Messenger, through email, through social media, and in person. So to do so, I'm going to share with you the formula that I follow. So write this down under step number 1. So we'll call this 1A. Under developing sellers' specific sales skills. 1A, asking great questions in a methodical order. We have to get good at asking great questions in a methodical order. Now, the good news is all of our scripts are available for you. They're all free. They're all online. Just go ahead and write down gloveru.com if you haven't had a chance to download them yet. That's how you get your hands on them. All of those scripts have been updated based on what's going on in the market. We look at those scripts about every 18 months and make sure they're still effective for the market. And all of the scripts are in a methodical order. So I've already done the heavy lifting for you. Number 2, though, here's where you come in. So I can give you great questions to ask in a methodical order, but where you come in is actively listening to their answers. Actively listening to their answers. Now, this is different because here's the deal. You're thinking, well, Jeff, come on. So this is 2B. We know what actively listening means. Like, is this webinar going to be all about like scripts and dialogues? No, this is just point number 1. But here's what I'll tell you. I can prove to you that you struggle with actively listening. So don't roll your eyes when you're writing that down. I can prove you struggle with it. Watch this. Has there ever been a time when you met someone for the first time, or maybe the second time even, and you introduce yourself, okay, usually more on the first time. You introduce yourself, and within 3 minutes of you introducing yourself and them introducing themselves to you, you forgot their name. That ever happened to you? Am I the only one that's happened to? It's happened to all of us. Why does that happen? That happens because, yes, exactly. Yes, Robin. Yes, it happens because we're thinking about what we're going to say next when we're in the middle of introducing ourselves. So I can prove to you that you don't actively listen because you forget people's names after 30 seconds of meeting with them. So how do you get good at actively listening? Well, here's how. Write this down. 1C. 1C. You need to ask deeper questions based off of their answers. You have to get good at asking deeper questions based off of their answers. And I'm going to give you an example in just a second. We have to get good at asking deeper questions based off of their answers. So let me show you an example of what I mean by this. And when I swing away, you're going to lose the audio a little bit. So I'm going to come back and repeat myself because the microphone's right here. So most of your scripts look like this. Okay. There's normally in a chronological order. Okay. Question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. That's what we're used to seeing when it comes to scripts. And let's just pretend for a second. Question number 1 on your script says, where are you moving to? It's very common. The next question is, how soon would you like to be there? Well, what I'm proposing that you do moving forward is that you no longer are following the order of the script as it's written. And instead, you're coming up with 2 to 3 great questions within the question. So that way you build a higher level of rapport. You display that you're actively listening. And by building a higher level of rapport, it's going to lead to higher levels of conversion. So watch. Let's just pretend for a second. Question number 1 on the script is, where are you moving to? It's typical script. I don't care what script you follow, it's out there. Well, question number 2 is usually, how soon do you want to be there? I'm not suggesting you go right to number 2. Instead, what I want you to do is this. You're going to ask questions within the question. So watch. Question number 1 is, where are you moving to? 1A. What takes you there? 1B. Who else do you know there? 1C. How long have you been thinking about moving there? Question number 2 on the script. Ideally, when would you like to be there? Watch. 2A could be, and what's important to you about meeting that timeline? So what I want you to take away from this particular point is, if you want to increase your level of conversion with sellers, then you absolutely have to learn how to actively listen and go 3 deep on the questions. Now, you don't have to go 3 deep on every single question on the script. You'd be talking to everyone forever. I'm not recommending that you do that. But what I am recommending that you do is, from time to time, you're going to stop on a question. You're going to go 2 to 3 questions deep on that question. That will display that you're listening. It will raise your level of rapport with the customer, because watch, you have to assume everyone else is following some type of script. If you're going deeper than the actual script, your level of rapport is going to be greater. The higher the level of rapport, the greater chance you have of converting. And that is point number 1. Point number 2 on 10 ways to master sellers this winter. Number 2, I want you to start working expireds the modern way. Point number 2 is, start working expireds the modern way. Point number 2, start working expireds the modern way. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by start working expireds the modern way is, traditionally, you would work this business by making a phone call or by door knocking. And by the way, those ways are still effective. I'm going to share with you a few other things that you can do to get business from this source. The expired listings, for those of you that are not familiar with working expireds, or you've maybe stayed away from them for a while, are one of my favorites. And in fact, it's the first source that I started with. Why? Because they're so far down at the bottom of the funnel. Meaning, if you were to look at the seller business funnel, if you were to look at all the sources of business that come from sellers, database, open houses for sale by owners, internet leads, wherever your sellers come from, if you were to look at that sales funnel of sellers, at the very bottom would be expired listings. Why? Because they've already raised their hand and said, we'll pay a commission. They've already raised their hand and said, we'll have a sign in our yard. They've already raised their hand and said, you can put a lockbox on the house. They've already raised their hand and said, we'll accept showings. They've already raised their hand and said, yep, we can be out by this date. They are the furthest down the funnel, which is why I love that source so much. Now, why do so many agents kind of shy away from expireds? Because they come with a lot of rejection. Well, if you followed anything in Glover, you know one of our isms: the more rejection you get, the more money you're going to make, period. So the more you go after business that provides you rejection regularly, the closer you're going to be to hitting your financial goals at the end of the year. I embrace rejection. I love rejection, because I know every time I'm getting rejected, I'm getting better. Forget the whole every no brings you closer to a yes, because, by the way, it's a cliche, because it is true. But more importantly than every no brings you closer to a yes is, every time you get rejected, you get better for the next time. So work expired listings in a modern way. Let me share with you how we're working with them in a modern way today. First things first, you have to make sure that you understand the 3 keys to succeeding with expireds. Okay, you have to make sure that you understand the 3 keys to succeeding with expireds. Number 1, remember, their home did not sell because of their agent. You need to understand that. They need to understand it, because they're going to want to tell you things like, well, we priced it too high. Well, it didn't show well. We got a lot of feedback. No, their home didn't sell because of their agent. Why? Watch this. If it was priced too high, it's their previous listing agent's job to make sure it's priced correctly. That's on their agent. If the condition is terrible, it's the previous listing agent's job to make sure they understand what they can do to improve the condition. So if you want to succeed with expireds, there's 3 keys. Number 1 key is make sure they understand without disparaging anybody. You're just creating a little bit of doubt, and you'll see that in our scripts. Their home didn't sell because of their agent. That's number 1. Number 2, you have to help them understand that a different plan is all they need. A different plan is all they need. Meaning you got the plan. This is your plan of action. You got it. A different plan is all they need, which, by the way, is a subtle reminder. Okay, it's January. Have you updated your plan of action? Have you gone through and updated all the stuff that you present to sellers? This is the time to do it if you haven't done it yet. That's number 2. Number 3, you got to get them back to where they were in terms of motivation when they first listed. You got to get them back to where they were in terms of motivation when they first listed. Meaning they don't want to talk about putting their home back on the market. They don't even want to think about meeting with other agents. They're frustrated. But you know what? Ask them about where they're moving to, what took them there, why they were moving there, and what was going on there, and how long they've been planning on moving there. Ask them about that, and they'll talk to you all day long. That's how you win with expired. So what type of methods are we using? What is Jeff, what do you mean by the modern way of working expireds? I'll share that with you now. Okay, so let's get the basic ones out of the way first. Call. Okay, everyone knows how to use the phone. That's still, by the way, one of the most profitable ways to work expireds. Texting, but I don't want you texting just messages. I want you to send a video message. Okay, a video message. Make sure you personalize it to their street name. The video message is very simple. You're just going to take out your phone. You're going to hit record. Hi, this is Realtor Jeff Glover, and I was just checking to see if you're still accepting offers on your home here on Banana Street. If you are, could you give me a call back? Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Boom. Send it off. Personalized, quick video text messages to expireds. That will get you better results than the standard mass text message. That'll get you better results than the mass even video message. You have to personalize it. That's what's going to make it different. That's a modern way of working expireds today. Email. You want to win with expireds? Use email, but you have to be clever with your subject lines and your pre-headers. Your subject line should say something to the effect of, are you ... question mark. Are you ... question mark. And in the body of the email, keep it short and sweet. Are you ... question mark. Body of the email. Ready? Still accepting offers on your home on blank street. Are you ... question mark. Body of the email. Still accepting offers on your home on blank street. Make sure the pre-header has that. They're more likely to open it. All right. You got to check the pre-header in your emails while you're sending them out. That's the email that's effective. By the way, somebody asked the question, where are we finding expireds? We use both Vulcan 7 and RedX, REDX and Vulcan 7. If you go to gloveru.com/affiliates or just somewhere on our website, you'll see resources. The one that says affiliates, we give you discounts on all of that stuff. There it is in the chat. Vulcan 7 and RedX, and we use both because some of our agents prefer to hand dial 1-to-1, hand text 1-to-1, and some of our agents prefer the dialer. Vulcan 7 comes with the dialer, and we use RedX for the hand dials. All right, those are the resources that we use for those. Also, visiting them at their door. Well, Jeff, that's kind of old-fashioned. Watch this. Do you know that visiting at the door is now a modern technique? Think about it for a second. Visiting at the door was like traditional 80s and 90s door-to-door salesman. You guys, some of you may remember that. And then all of a sudden we had like this thing called 9/11, a scary time in our world. And all of a sudden people were very protective. Don't come near my door, privacy, cameras, all of this stuff started to show up. People were nervous about strangers, and rightfully so, especially during that time. And then next thing you know, we have this thing called Amazon that shows up. Next, now you're having boxes delivered to your door nonstop. And then we had DoorDash and Grubhub and all these others. I mean, think about it. You will literally open you will take a pizza or a bag of Taco Bell food from a complete stranger at your door now, right? The bag could be half open and you're still crunching away at that hard taco or that chicken quesadilla. Today, people are showing up to the door and people are answering their door more than ever before. So door knocking, although sounds very traditional, it's actually more modern today than it was 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, everyone said, stop, don't come near me, no soliciting, don't come near me. Today, people are opening up their door for everybody and more people are home. That's why the visiting at the door is effective today, more effective today than it was 5 years ago. Direct mail, that's getting a mailer out to every single expired in the market every single time they come off the market. Social media, this is finding them on social media. messaging them through social media. Take their email address, plug it into Google. It'll pull up some of their social media channels, maybe their LinkedIn, maybe their Instagram, maybe their Facebook. Message them that way. Well, Jeff, what if I sit in their inbox unread? Find a mutual friend, create a group chat, message them that way. And then finally, modern day working expireds, geofencing. When the house comes off the market, and I know in Canada, you have to work them a little bit different. The caveat in Canada is you got to call the whole street. You can work expireds, but you got to canvas. So you have to be able to prove that you also called the neighbors, or you also mailed to the neighbors, or you also texted the neighbors, or you also emailed the neighbors. Geofencing is another way to work expireds, meaning when the home comes off the market, you know how when you walk into a store, next thing you know, you're served those ads, or you're shopping for something online, all of a sudden you're getting served those ads. You can do the same thing with expired listings. You can geofence a radius around their house. So all the expired listing sees is ads from you. Hey, home didn't sell, or, looking to accomplish your moving plans, whatever your messaging is, you can absolutely use geofencing the same way the stores use it on you. You can use it on expired listings. And that's the modern way to work expireds today. That's point number 2. Point number 3, win in the new market with for sale by owners. Win in the new market with for sale by owners. Why? Because our value to them just went up. Our value just went through the roof. Similar to expireds, they raised their hand and said, we'll sell, we'll have a sign in our yard, we'll accept showings, maybe we'll put a lockbox on the house. We don't know if we want to pay a commission yet. We don't know if we're ready to hire an agent. Here's what I know about for sale by owners in a softer market. Our value to them just went up. So therefore, they're more likely to convert. Now, some people will say, well, Jeff, won't there be less for sale by owners? There will be less for sale by owners. However, a higher percentage of them will list with real estate agents. All right. For sale by owners is absolute way to win in the new market. Let me give you a quick tactic on winning with for sale by owners. Some of you have heard this before, and it's called the rule of 5 with for sale by owners. The most successful agents know that the best day to call for sale by owners is Mondays. Without question, calling for sale by owners on Mondays is the best day to call for sale by owners. Never call them on Fridays, the worst day. Oh, Jeff, we got a fair coming up, a carnival's in town. We got balloons ready to go. I'm going to bake cookies. Like everyone and their brother's going to come to my open house. So yeah, why don't you follow up with us next week? Do not call for sale by owners on Monday. Their confidence level is all the way up here, as high as it can be. I meant do not call them on Friday. Call them on Monday when you say, hey, how was that open house? Well, and they're kind of coy. Well, we had a few people come through. No one real serious yet. Call for sale by owners on Monday. By the way, the formula for winning for sale by owners, 5 Mondays in a row. 5 Mondays in a row. You will have more success with for sale by owners if you can stick it out for 5 weeks. Quick rule of thumb of for sale by owners, be the first one in and the last one standing. The first one in and the last one standing. You want to win more for sale by owners. That's how you do that. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, find the motivated sellers in your database. Find the motivated sellers in your database. By the way, you can use the same resources, Vulcan, RedX, they have for sale by owner data. But my favorite for sale by owner data source is good old fashioned driving around and spotting signs. And you can employ your friends, your family, whoever. Get as many people out there working for you. I pay people $15. Hey, you send me a picture of a for sale by owner sign. I will Venmo you $15 on the spot. Send me a picture get out of your car, take a picture of the sign. You got $15 coming your way. True story. My Aunt Sue this past Christmas, she said, Jeff, you owe me like $85. I sent you 6 for sale by owners this fall. So I Venmoed her $85. All right. Get people to send you for sale by owner signs. All right, number 4, find the motivated sellers in your database. Find the motivated sellers in your database. I know a lot of you do a great job of working your database. I wish I had time to go through our entire database plan. For those of you that were at the summit, I shared with you the new plan. I know a lot of you are probably going to be in our listing mastery course. I'm going to go through the plan during that as well. But here's what I'll tell you as it relates to database. We really have to look at doing 3 things moving forward, because this is a big source of listings for us. Yes, and we have a webinar on it as well. I love that. This is a big source of listings for us. You have to focus on 3 things as it relates to your database, because here's the deal. Most agents only focus on one of these 3 things I'm about to share. Number 1, daily adding people to it. Every day you're looking at who can I add? Who did I talk to yesterday that makes sense to add to my database? You have to be constantly thinking about who you can add to that group every single day. That's number 1. Number 2, you have to add value to the people that are already there. And before you tell me like, Jeff, I got a pretty good pretty good gig down. I'm adding a lot of value to people in my database. What I would say to you is it's probably time to do an audit. Seriously, when is the last time you did an audit to everything you do to add value to your database? Well, what do you mean? What's an audit? An audit would be looking at everything you do, everything you send, everything you mail, everything, the events that you put on, everything you think you do to add value to your database. I want you to audit it. Jeff, I got a pretty good thing going. I don't know if I need to audit. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. In 2022, did you send an email to your database reminding them to set the clocks back or spring forward? Yeah. Okay. It's time to audit the database. Think about it for a second. Honestly, when is the last time you got value when someone sent you a reminder to set the clocks back? Honestly, I know you get them from lenders and title companies, whatever. There's no value in that. So why are you still sending that stuff? So it's time to do an audit. This would be the time. All right. And as they threw down in the chat, we're going to have a webinar specifically on that. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that one. But number 2 is adding value to the people that are already there. And then number 3, remember I said there's 3 things you got to do each day. So number 1, add people to it. Number 2, add new value, update your value proposition. And number 3, do number 1 and 2 simultaneously. Do number 1 and 2 simultaneously. As basic as that sounds, I know so many of you are really good. There's like 2 types of agents out there. There's the agent that's really good at adding value, but they're not really good at prospecting and lead follow-up, and they don't like to make calls, and they don't like to do open houses. They don't like to generate new contacts. And then there's the other group that loves the rejection, loves talking to people, but hates loving on their database. You got to find a way to mesh the 2. I had to do that because, by the way, I was the second group, and I recognize that you'll have more success by treating that like a massive source of business, especially as it relates to listings. So absolutely moving forward, add people to it every day, add value to them once they're there. That's number 4. Number 5. Number 5. Okay. So just write this down in case you didn't write this down. So let me go back. This is why I separated these 2. I'm sorry. Number 4 is find the motivated sellers in your database. And how do you do that? You do that by adding people to it, adding value to the people that are there, and doing 1 and 2 simultaneously. So number 5 is complete an audit of your database value proposition. Complete an audit of your database value proposition, which I just talked about that a little bit. So I got ahead of myself. Sorry. The only thing I want you to write down under this one is take advantage of the I have a goal script. Take advantage of the I have a goal script. It's in the script book. You go to glovery.com. You can download it for free. What I want you to do is I want you to use the I have a goal script. And it sounds I'm just going to give you the brief opening line. Hi, this is your realtor, Jeff Glover. Just wanted to let you know I'm so thankful for you being a great client, number 1. And number 2, I wanted to make you aware that I have a goal to sell 75 homes to families here in Southeast Michigan in 2023. And I was wondering, who do you know that could use my help? Could you think of a friend, a family member, a neighbor that could use my services at this time? We're as part of our database value add and part of our value proposition, we're using the I have a goal script. I love that, Julie. Yes, that they want to help you out. It's a very effective script, especially when it comes to finding listings in your database. So just underneath, complete an audit of your value database value proposition. Write down, utilize the I have a goal script. All right. And right underneath that, attend. We have one 60 or 75-minute webinar just on that alone. So just write attend Glover U webinar on database. It's coming up. I'm not sure exactly the date, but it's coming up. All right. That's number 5. Number 6. Oh, there it is. There's a link to that one. Number 6. Get good at future pacing sellers for price reductions. Get good at future pacing sellers for price reductions. Future pacing sellers for price reductions. So here's how I do that. And I want you to write this down. In today's market, if you want to list more homes and you want them to sell, I want you to future pace sellers at the listing table. So you're going to write down this script. Ready? I feel very confident in the price of blank. Go ahead and write that down. I feel very confident in the price of blank that we set on your home. So if you can imagine, you're in the listing appointment setting, and after you get them to agree on price, you get a listing agreement signed. which I know a lot of you are going to be, a lot of you have taken. Do we have any of our listing mastery students in here? If you've been through listing mastery, do me a favor, throw something in the chat. If you're a listing mastery graduate, some of you have taken several times. All right. Good to see you, Karina. Thanks for being in here. Charlie. Yes. Awesome. Anthony. Yes, yes, yes. We just finished our last round of it. And for those that are in listing mastery, we spend a lot of time talking about the actual presentation. And one of the things that we've been sharing in the new listing mastery, because by the way, our listing mastery program, like all of our programs, get updated every 12 months. Why? Because the market changes. So one of the things that we're talking about right now that we actually didn't talk about in a listing mastery session, 2 sessions ago, is this script right here. I feel very confident in the price of blank that we set on your home tonight. And it's important that you understand, write this down, and it's important that you understand we won't actually know the value. Good to see you, John. We won't actually know the value till we put it out there and see how buyers respond. Hey, you know what? I'm so excited to go to work for you guys tonight. And I think this 299 number is a pretty good number. And it's important that you understand that we won't actually know the true value until we put it on the market and see how buyers respond. Now, buyers are going to respond in one of 3 ways. Write this down. Buyers will respond in one of 3 ways. You want to get more listings sold? Every single appointment you go on, you present this. Buyers will respond in one of 3 ways. 1, if we have a lot of showings and a handful of offers in the first few weeks. 1, if we have a lot of showings and a handful of offers in the first few weeks, we've marketed it and priced it right. Our marketing is working and we priced it well. Hey, if we got a lot of activity in the first couple of weeks, everything's working. We priced it right. The marketing's happening. Now, some of you will say, well, Jeff, why is this important to share? Because watch this. In this new market, when they're hearing all the buzz of things slowing down, if their home sells fast, they actually think that you might have underpriced it. Isn't it amazing how in the last market, they expect it? This thing better sell in 24 to 48 hours. I can't believe it didn't sell in 24 to 48 hours. In this new market, I can't believe this sold in 24 to 48 hours. You priced it too low. It's very important that you get this out there. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with some of that. I've been in 21 years of doing this. I've seen good markets, bad markets, average markets, hot markets. That's where it goes. That's number 1. Number 2, if we have a handful of showings, but no offers in the first few weeks. Number 2 thing that could happen is if we have a handful of showings, but no offers in the first few weeks, we're in the ballpark. We may just need a slight reduction. And if we have a handful of showings, but no offers, we're in the ballpark. Good news is people are seeing some value here. And we may just need a slight reduction. And I'll say, based on my experience, usually that's somewhere between 3 and 5%. Usually that's somewhere between 3 and 5%. And that's number 2. And I also will say, and that's most common. Number 2 is the most common thing that happens. Why do I want to do that? Because I want them to be pleasantly surprised if we get into a multiple offer situation. But I don't want them to expect it. And then number 3, the third thing that could happen, if after 2 weeks, we have little to no showings and certainly no offers. If after 2 weeks, we have little to no showings and certainly no offers, we've priced it too high. We've priced it too high. And in my experience, probably around 5 to 7% too high. And if after 2 weeks, we have little to no showings and certainly no offers, we've started too high. Now, this conversation is happening at the listing table after you've already picked a price and you've told them that you're confident in that price. The problem is sometimes if you get too confident in a price and it doesn't sell, that can backfire on you. John, who just chimed in a minute ago, you'll remember this. This is going to go. You remember that, John? This is going to go. Well, what happened was John Janosik and I, who's down the street here with Berkshire Hathaway, thanks for being on. We were on an appointment. He was shadowing me, I believe. And we went out on this appointment together and, he's walking around confident. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. This is going to go. And I'm like kind of nudging him like, shut up, John. And I'm taking notes and like, yeah, that's a pretty nice kitchen you got there. And I'm just kind of being, soft with everything. Why is that? Well, because if you show too much excitement and enthusiasm about their house and you agree on a price and it doesn't work out, then whose fault is it? It's your fault. You priced it. Now, when you take a listing that you're super excited about, even though you're confident, but Jeff, I know it's going to go. I don't care. You're still delivering this script every time, because if it sells too fast, they might think that you underpriced it. And if it takes a while, well, now it's just going to be easier for you to go back in 2 weeks and get a price reduction. Number 6 is get good at future pacing sellers for price reductions at the listing table. 3 to 5% if you get showings but no offers, 5 to 7% too high if after 2 weeks it's not sold. Number 7, once you discover you have an overpriced listing, which we all do, watch. If you're on this webinar right now, okay, be real honest with me. There's nothing wrong with this. Ready? You're on the session right now and you have an active listing that's been on the market for more than 21 days. Just throw something down in the chat. Let me see you. If you have a listing that you have active for more than 21 days, I want to know. Raise a hand, throw down yes, yep, do whatever. You got a listing for more than 21 days? Yep. Okay, good. A lot of us do, including myself. Now watch. You have an overpriced listing. I don't care how you slice it. If it's active for 21 days and it has not sold, it is absolutely overpriced. Now you're going to come back and say, well, wait a minute, Jeff, what about the condition? Condition can be improved with price. You can keep the condition the same, reduce the price, and now the condition improves. The condition can improve with an improved price. So once we discover, we're all in this together. I got overpriced listings too. Welcome to the club. Once we discover that we have taken a listing overpriced, now I'm having this conversation with them after 14 days. Some of you will choose to wait 21. I absolutely would not wait 21, more than 21. 22 days, oh my gosh, you're getting the listing's going to get stale. I'm having this conversation at 14 days. Certainly no one should wait more than 3 weeks to have this conversation. And that is this. Go ahead and write down this script. Ready? Days on market. Some of you can probably finish the sentence because if you've been through Listing Mastery, we teach you all of the pricing scripts. Days on market is the enemy to your home's value. Thank you so much for that, Isabel. Days on market is the enemy to your home's value. By the way, I'll even say this at the listing table, just in case we get into a deeper pricing discussion. So I'll let them know. I'll give them a scenario. When you were shopping for your home, you probably had some questions about the house, like the age of the roof, and is this a good neighborhood? By chance, did you ask your buyer's agent? Let's just pretend I wasn't their agent for a second. By chance, did you ask your agent how long the home had been on the market? Well, of course we did. Well, why did you want to know how long the home had been on the market? Well, because if it's been on the market for a long time, then we can get a better deal. Exactly. So therefore, days on market is the enemy to your home's value. Why? Because if you're thinking that, then so are all the other buyers. They're looking at your days on market and they're seeing it go 21, 26, 28, 32, 45. Now the listing is becoming stale and they think they can get a better deal on your house, which is why it's important that we have this conversation after 14 days because we cannot let your listing go stale. That's number 7. All right, number 8, ready? To win more sellers in this new market. Thank you, Kim, for taking great notes for everyone today, by the way. To win more listings in this new market, you have to master the art of writing and speaking good copy. Master the art of writing and speaking good copy to attract more sellers. Master the art, number 8, master the art of writing and speaking good copy to attract more sellers. Your social media, your messaging, your emails, any advertising that you put out there will be made or broken based on how well your copy is written. Good copy is a hidden secret in the advertising world and can absolutely be a differentiating factor in your content getting good engagement and responses or none at all. It drives me crazy some of the stuff I see agents do on social media, and we're going to talk about social media specifically in a second. Before I do, I want to get into the 7 copywriting rules as it relates to seller advertising. 7 copywriting rules to follow as it relates to seller advertising. Ready? 7 copywriting rules to seller advertising on social media. Rule number 1, keep the title of your ad to no more than 5 words. Keep the title of your ad to no more than 5 words. Catchier the better. In fact, if you can use a hook, right? Think of a hook, something that keeps me hanging. I bet you thought right now is not a great time to buy. I bet you thought right now is not a great time to make a move. Think of something 5 words or less that's catchier, that has a hook. I want you to use one of the 6 trigger words when you're writing copy. This is number 2. So we're under 8. We'll call this 8B, or well, whatever. It's 7 copywriting rules. So we'll stick to numbers. We're under number 8, but we're on to number 2, if that makes sense. 7 copywriting rules. Number 2, use the 6 trigger words. You, free, savings, new, offer, and instant. You, free, savings, new, offer, and instant. Use one of those words in the title of your ad. Those words are proven to get consumers to stop from doing this. They're proven to get consumers from stopping the scroll. That's our goal. We want to stop people from scrolling past your ad. Number 3, consider using alarming language. Alarming language. 7 huge mistakes to avoid as a seller today. 9 best practices for buyers to get a good deal today. Use alarming language. It works. I can prove it to you. Watch. You've all done this before. You're scrolling, and next thing you know, oh, the 6 worst nose jobs in Charlotte. Oh, let's check that out. Right? It got you to stop and click. Use alarming language is number 3. Number 4, stay away from politics and religion. I think everyone knows that, but write that down again. Stay away from politics and religion. Number 5, don't overuse emojis. It reduces your credibility. Don't overuse emojis. It reduces credibility. We do a whole session during Listing Mastery where we actually teach our students today. It's so fascinating because when we first started our Listing Mastery program, this wasn't in it. We now have a session just on all the personality styles and how to communicate with them, not just by what you say, but how you send messages. Do you use perfect punctuation? Do you use a lot of exclamation points? Do you not use a lot of? Do you use emojis? Do you use GIFs? It's actually now part of our Listing Mastery program, how to communicate with the 4 styles using your mobile phone. Anyways, don't overuse emojis when you're trying to attract sellers. It'll reduce your credibility. This is number 5. Number 6, use humor when possible, but keep it classy. 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 Number 7, facts tell, but stories sell. Facts tell, but stories sell. Man, I can't tell you how many times I'll see an agent post an ad. New listing, new sale, sold for 109% of the asking price in 32 minutes. Nobody cares about your statistics. They want the story. Where are they moving to? Why are they moving? How long have they lived there? What did they do to the home? Give me a story. Stories sell. Stop sharing facts. In Listing Mastery, we do an entire 45-minute session on writing great copy. It's part of our new Listing Mastery program. I know I'll plan on seeing you, many of you guys in there. All right, let's go to number 9. Number 9, treat my personal, watch this. If you want to have more sellers, you want to build a massive listing inventory, treat my personal social media as part of my seller attraction plan. Treat my personal social media. I'm getting into the good stuff now. You guys know I always say save the best for last. I hope you can appreciate that I'm also going very fast because I want to get a ton of content in. Listen, I could talk to you guys for hours, but here's the reality. We schedule a 60-minute webinar and people start dropping off after 60 minutes. So then we say it's going to be 75 minutes and we're going to go right up until 75 minutes. I could go on for hours with this stuff. And thank you for joining us. And I know a lot of you come to events and so forth, and that's where you get more stuff as well. Number 9, treat my personal social media as part of my seller attraction plan. So let me give you a couple things that you need to be changing up as it relates to your social media. Number 1, your personal profiles. You guys have all heard this from me probably before once or twice. Your personal profiles are more important than your business profiles. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Your personal profiles, your personal Facebook, your personal Instagram are more important than your business profiles. I want you to think of all of the people that you're friends with on Facebook, all of the people that follow you on Instagram as people that are in your database. Now, if you think of them as people in your database, you're going to treat it differently. So everyone on here, I know you have, because we've been teaching this for several years now. I know you have a social media calendar that you're following. By the way, you can get your hands on our entire social media plan at gloveru.com/social. I'm going to go through a few of these really quick. You want the entire plan? Just go to gloveru.com/social. By the way, are you guys getting value from today? Am I giving away a lot of stuff? I hope you guys can appreciate that I'm constantly giving away stuff for free. I mean, we're going to continue to do that because my personal mission is to impact millions to live their best life. Imagine spending like 16 weeks with me in a coaching program. Hello. All right. Personal media social media profiles is part of my seller attraction plan. Here's the deal. All right. I want you to write down under number 9. We'll call this 9A. Hamburger, not hot dog. Just write it down. Don't laugh. Don't ask for me to spell it for you. Hamburger, not hot dog. Write that down, please. Thank you guys for being here. And we're going to keep going. Hamburger, not hot dog. What do I mean by that? Hamburger, not hot dog. Stop taking your photos like this. These are not formatted correctly for Facebook and Instagram. Stop turning your phone sideways. Don't let me catch you doing that again if you're at one of our events. It's not going to get as good engagement as a photo taken like this. Now, some people say, well, if it's a group photo, not everyone can fit. Then you pinch the screen and you zoom out and you'll get everyone in. And then later you can go back and mess with the photo so you can get everyone's faces zoomed in on. Hamburger, not hot dog. Also, group photos, selfies get better engagement than portraits. Or hey, stop grabbing people to take your photo. Instead, put it on selfie mode. Boom. Yes, same thing with videos. Same thing with videos. Facebook and Instagram are formatted to be like this, not like this. This is TV. Your videographers are used to formatting things for TV, not for the cell phone. Every time you do a video, make sure it's formatted for the cell phone. Hamburger, not hot dog. Stop doing hot dog moving forward, all right? Next, I want you to take advantage of the Instagram Reels. Now more than ever, Instagram is doing everything they can to push your videos up to the front to make sure everybody sees them. Take advantage of the Instagram Reels. They work. Next, stop sharing from your business page. I see realtors do this all the time, sharing back and forth. I'm going to make a post on my business page. I'm going to share it to Facebook. No, stop doing that. Copy and paste, recreate a new one. Also, you've heard me say this over the last couple of years. I'm going to do a friendly reminder. Stop using Canva. I see so many realtors still using Canva. You can use Canva for your business profiles. That's fine, but not for your personal. You're putting words and pictures and phrases and .coms and all this stuff all over your images. Facebook and Instagram know that you're trying to sell their audience on something. Stop doing that. Use raw, real photos, action shots, photos from the closing, photos of your clients, a selfie with your client, photo in front of the house. Stop using Canva. Now more than ever, I'm going to give you one more under this one before we go to number 10. Now more than ever, everyone on here should be promoting the heck out of their buyer success stories. You want to attract more clients, more buyers, and more sellers? Because guess what? Buyers have homes to sell. So you want to attract more sellers through social media? Start talking about the success stories that your buyers are having. Start talking about how much money you saved them on the transaction because what you negotiated for the home inspection. Start talking about how fast they were able to secure a home. Start talking about how many multiple offers you competed with and won. Start sharing your buyer success stories. Sellers are good. And if you're going to share your seller success stories, that's fine too, but you better start telling stories. People don't want statistics. All right. I could go on and on about that one. That's number 9. Number 10, master your write this down, 10 ways to build a massive inventory. By the way, if you didn't catch it, you can get our entire social media guide, gloveru.com/social. That'll have everything. Everything I just read off to you, plus some. gloveru.com/social. Number 10, ready? Master your during, and post-appointment routine and presentation. Master your during, and post-appointment routine and presentation. Master your meaning what do you do before the appointment? What do you send out? What do you mail to them? How many calls are you making? Do you know that I have a rule of 5 touches before I go on a listing appointment? Do you know that I touch every single appointment I go on before I get there 5 times? Do you think that increases my level of rapport before I get there? Do you think it increases my conversion once I'm there? 5. Well, what are those touches? We'll cover those at a later time. Master your pre, during. What do you do on the appointment? What is your routine? What is your presentation? Have you updated your marketing material? Have you updated your plan of action? And post, what do you do after the appointment? What happens if they don't sign on the spot? How do you get them to sign after you leave their house? Master your pre, during, post appointment presentation and routine. And that is a perfect way to segue to a way to do that. By the way, did you guys get some value today? I know I rapid fire through stuff. Hopefully it was a ton of value for you guys. Thank you, Kim, for taking notes for all of us. I got one more thing I'm going to share and then we're going to be done. Thank you so much. Getting a ton of messages. A lot of these messages are coming through to me as a panelist. So thank you for that too. So starting, I believe, the 3rd week of February, I have rewritten our listing mastery program. Again, it gets a rewrite every time I do it. For those that have gone through the program, and I know a lot of you chimed in earlier, you'll notice every time you take it, there's something new. Every time you take it, it gets updated. Why? Because I'm going on appointments right now. So I know what sellers are saying. I know what marketing material is getting us callbacks. I know what direct mail piece is working. I know what listing presentation material is working. So all of you have an opportunity to work directly with me, to ask questions directly of me, to know exactly what we're doing. There's a reason why we're able to average 65 to 75 listings taken per month. All of you have an opportunity to work directly with me, and it's through our listing mastery program. In your workbook, do me a favor, flip to the second to last page in your workbook. It looks like this. I'm going to have them throw it up on the screen. Yeah, if you want more information about it, you can text the word listing to that same phone number that you used to sign up for the daily message. Just text the word listing to 55444 and you'll get all the information. You'll get a copy of the agreement. We keep this group small. I think we keep it to 75 people or less. And why do we do that? Because at the end of every session, I open up the floor for questions. And from time to time, people think of their questions afterwards, and we have a private Facebook group just for our listing masters where people will post their questions in there and I'll go in and answer them. So this isn't just a quick hit one and done and move on. This is 16 weeks. You're working directly with me live via Zoom. It's 45 minutes of instruction and 7 to 10 minutes of Q&A, depending on how many questions we have. So essentially, you're working with me for an hour a week for 16 weeks in a row. And yes, we talk about lead generation and lead follow-up, but a lot of the program is actually perfecting your listing presentation. So we have all of our attendees at the end. Here's how we're so confident, why we're so confident in this program. After you're done in the 16 weeks, you have an opportunity to send in your listing presentation. I will watch it, I will critique it, and I will send you a report back of how you can get better. Now, some of you hear that and you're thinking, well, I'm not in a position, I would never want to have to see my listing presentation. That's okay. I was there once too. But by the time you're done with this 16 weeks, you're happy to set up a selfie camera on a little selfie stick or whatever and present your listing presentation. Why? Because we go through start to finish. I mean, we're talking communication styles, the listing appointment script, the pre-qualifying script, every single objection a seller could ever give you handled. I give you 2 to 3 answers for those. A lot of stuff that we don't get a chance to cover in the webinar is what we put into the programs. Because here's the deal, at the end of the day, and for my listing masters, you know this, we cover scripts that aren't covered in that free script book. Now, we give you the basics. And so for those of you that are on for the first time on, please know that I hope our scripts help you. I hope you get some value from them. When you take a program like this, you are absolutely becoming a script master, because I'm actually making you write scripts, chant scripts, role play scripts, not just the actual presentation itself, but also where do our listings come from? Jeff, how do I get more listings from my database? Jeff, how do I master expired listings? Again, we're taking 65 to 75 listings per month. There's no REO, there's no foreclosure. That's everyday buyers and sellers that are working directly with us. And oh, by the way, I'm responsible for 6 to 8 of those every single month. So I know what they're saying. I know what you're going through. If you want to join me, just text the word listing to 55444. There we go. Text listing to 55444. You got all the details in your workbook. Our next session is starting the middle of February. Now, I know a lot of you have already been through listing mastery. So you're going to be taking it for a second or a third time, which is great. Every time you take it, my goal is to increase your conversion. So that way, I'm not even suggesting you work harder. All I'm suggesting is you get better. And so everyone who ends up going through this program has an opportunity. By the way, this is the only program that I teach personally from end to end, from start to finish. Every single session is absolutely with me, and it's live. So you have a chance to type things in the chat. You have a chance to ask questions, everything that we cover. I can't wait to be with you guys. We also share all of our marketing material. So what do we send out to expireds? What do we mail out to for sale by owners? Jeff, when you go on a listing appointment, what is it that you take? I don't just share it with you. I give you a PDF. In fact, I give you the printer to go and duplicate your own. It's amazing to me. I have so many people come up at our events today that will bring me their listing packet, and I'll flip through it, and it's identical to ours. I don't care. That's cool. We're all winning together. So we're starting in February. We're starting next month. If you want to join me, by the way, it's $3.99 a month for 4 months. So I don't know, what is it, 14, or what is 400 times 4? Anyone do the math on that? What is that, $1,600? $1,600 for 16 weeks. Gee, if you get one listing from that, I think you'll like, I mean, you could list a garage in the middle of nowhere and sell it and pay for the class. So anyway, so that's the investment. If you want to work directly with me and become a listing master, the timing of this could not be better, because we're building, I want everyone to build a massive listing inventory as we head into the spring, because once all the sudden stuff starts popping off, which actually there's another lesson in that. Start taking your listings for 30 to 60 days longer than you have been. If you haven't been already, if you've been taking 60 to 90 day listings, I want you taking 4-month listings. If you've been taking 4 months listings, get garage goals. I love that. If you've been taking 4 months listings, I want you to take 6-month listings. If you've been taking 6 months listings, I want you to take 9-month listings. Well, how do I get them to list with me for longer? We teach that in the program. And why do you want them to list with you for longer? Because you never know how long it's going to take to sell in a softer market. So if you want to join me, I'd love to be with you guys. I'd love to spend 16 weeks with you. There's a reason why it's one of our most popular programs. It's our original program. There's a reason why when you come to our events, I'm always talking about becoming a listing master. Obviously, you're all on today because you want to be listing masters. I hope you'll join me. I promise I will not let you down. For the rest of our webinars, go to gloveru.com/webinar. They're all free. If you want to take listing mastery, you got the form for it right in your workbook there. You can go to GloverU programs or just text the word listing to 55444. I'm very proud to announce that we finished on time. It's 12:13 Eastern Standard Time. I had until 12:15. I look forward to seeing you guys Thursday. We'll be back, same place, same time, Thursday, for another great session. We handpicked all of these sessions based on what's going on in the industry and in the market right now. We'll plan on seeing you guys Thursday at this time. We'll plan on seeing all of you for that. There's no reason why you can't join us for that, because it's free. And I'll look forward to seeing a lot of you in Listing Mastery this February. Make it a great rest of the week. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.